Hello, welcome to Graphic Online TV. This is a lifestyle segment sponsored by The Mirror where we get to talk about all the exciting and interesting things happening in town. You know that this weekend is Father's Day. Yes, The Mirror celebrates mothers, we celebrate fathers, we celebrate the family. And so this weekend, we have an event coming on at the Oak Plaza Hotel. It's only 450 CDs. You can come. Bring your dad, your father figures. Let's chill out. It's an intimate event. We know the men don't usually like too much noise. So we have a special intimate event for your fathers. So today I'm not one who usually starts, but I'm in a sort of an informal audition because our guest today is the master of art. He knows what it is to present, what it is to speak in public, what it is to direct. I won't talk too much because if I want to introduce who we have here, it will take us the whole time. We are glad to have Uncle Ebo Whyte, a popular playwright. If you've not seen any of his plays, are you even a Ghanaian? Like, do you live in Ghana? I'm sure he has a number of plays coming up. You can, throughout our conversation, we'll talk about it. Okay. Hello, welcome, Uncle Ebo.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, good to connect with you. Like I said, as I'm talking, I'm checking to see if everything is proper because I know you are a camera light action man. I hope you're not marking me too much today.
No, I'm not.
All right, so our conversation...
Especially since you are celebrating fathers.
All right, so before we started, Uncle Ebo was telling us why we always shout about the mothers and we don't do for fathers. But The Mirror, we try every year. As soon as we end our Mother's Day celebration, we move into Father's Day, and then we have content around fathers, and then we crown it with our annual buffet. So we are trying.
Well, that is why The Mirror is The Mirror. It has always been a leader and a standard bearer in this sector. So I'm happy that you celebrate fathers. We don't do that enough, and it's unfortunate.
I think that if you don't know, Uncle Ebo is our old mirror. He's been with us for a long time.
Yes.
Although he's not writing for us actively now, which we'll put in the appeal formally.
That will be a different discussion.
He's been with us for years, so he knows and understands the brand. Let's go right into the interview.
Okay.
In May, you put out a video, and it was, I think, the opening, especially on Facebook.
Yes.
People felt it was too blunt, where you open to say you don't have, like, let me see if I would find the exact statement you made. I'm a childless man.
I'm a childless man, yes.
I think that even if you read the comments under the post, maybe you've shared parts of that story before, but how you put that statement out and the narrative that followed, was it to get attention, and even the story of your friend, the one you shared, is it something that really happened?
Yes, it did happen. That particular post was on the back of two previous posts, and that led to that. But I also do not, because I have a lot of adopted children. This is Ghana. I do not want a situation where one day somebody introduces himself as, oh, I'm the son or the daughter of Uncle Ebo Whyte, and somebody goes, hey, Papa no niba. This is Ghana. It could happen. So there are certain things that if you are a Ghanaian relating to Ghanaians, you better put up front. Otherwise, we will hit you with it at the worst possible moment.
I see.
Plus, I am not really ashamed of the fact that I don't have biological children. I am not ashamed at all. I do not feel any sense of regret, any sense of loss of it, because I know better. I know that fatherhood is not just biology. Fatherhood, many of us say we have fathers, but really, if we are looking at the people who made us, it is not our biological fathers. Quite often it will be an uncle, even a teacher. Even somebody in the neighborhood. Sometimes even a boss who took a liking to you and decided that I would direct your path. And so it is wonderful to have children, but if you do not have children also, that doesn't mean that you are less of a man, less of a father, less of a husband, because there is so much you can do once you are a man who is responsible and who has love in your heart. There are so many people you could father, because there's such a shortage
Of fathers.
Of fathers.
True.
Of good fathers.
Anyway. How has your fatherhood journey been, from the children that you've adopted and the children that you take of? How has your fatherhood journey been?
It's been fulfilling. Very, extremely fulfilling. To the point that my wife and I don't have to adopt children now. The children adopt us.
They all want you to be their father.
That's right. Yes.
Their parent, yeah.
And not just that. We've also had situations where people's parents demand that they adopt us as their parents.
Wow. So the parents are alive, then they say, okay,
the parents are alive. So they keep pushing them. I mean, have you heard from your father? And this is the father of
the biological father
asking, have you heard from your father?
Okay.
Or if they take a decision, like educational, a life decision, and they run it by their father and say, Dad, I want to do this. Have you run it by your father? What does he say? And when they say that, oh, I've run it by Uncle Ebo, and he thinks that it is a good way, a good thing to do, he said, that is all. It's okay. If he's okay with it, it's okay.
Then that's fine. Wow.
And that's fine, yes. Life partners. There's been cases where a girl is thinking of marrying somebody, goes to the father and says, Dad, I've met somebody with whom I want to make a life. And I want to know when I can bring him for you so that you can see him and decide whether. I said, wait. Does your father know him? He said, yes. Uncle Bo has met him. What does he think of him? Does he like him?
Okay, you give the approval.
Then he says, yes, he likes him a lot. So then that is okay. Just the two of you just come up with your date, and I'm fine with it.
Wow. Do you have in mind the number of children that you'd have? Aside the others, the many others who
we've lost count. We've lost count. And they are now scattered all over in every continent. In every continent we have a child. So the telephone in my house does not sleep. Because at any point in time, one of the children may be calling from wherever to either check in or to pick up our mind on a challenge,
life updates
on issue there. And then now we are not dealing as much with the children as with the grandchildren.
Oh.
You know, there is an interesting thing. About 5 years ago, I did a solo performance at the National Theatre. We called it the Crazy Ride, where for 2 hours it was just me, holding the attention of people. And on one of the days, in the middle of my act, a child shouts from the second floor of National Theatre. National Theatre was packed, all 3 levels. Grandpa! And immediately the voice came. I knew who it was. So I paused and responded to the child before continuing. You know, so that has also become a very fulfilling thing. The grandchildren who are coming up and who know this is our grandchildren and our grandfather, they go to school and boast about that. Uncle Bo,
they'll have a lot to say.
Yeah, Uncle Bo is my grandfather. They say, oh, you don't know Uncle Bo? Said, I have a picture with him. See, you know. So it's been a very fulfilling, and that is the reason why I come out openly is that whether we like it or not every marriage would have children. It would be wonderful if that is the case for every marriage. Not every marriage will have children. And as a counselor, and I've been a counselor for a number of years, it is heartbreaking to see a couple with fantastic chemistry, a couple with good bonding, being torn apart, the relationship being destroyed over the fact that we don't have children. And sometimes the family, one side of the family, quite often the boy's side, trying to suggest it into the mind of the boy that if your wife is not going to give you children, then go outside and marry. And encouraging him actively to do that. And sometimes the girl's parents also saying that, look, he's a good person, you don't want to lose him. So go get pregnant for him. Now, these are the days of DNA.
Yeah.
In the days of our grandparents, you could get away with it.
Simply get away with it.
But these days, and all the issues, the embassies will tell you how often a man is traveling with children, his children, present a DNA, and then realize that none of the children are his. And quite often, it is easy to judge a situation like that and say, how can women be that? No. It is the pressure of you must have children. You must have the child for him. Otherwise, you will lose him. He will go out. He's a man. He will go out. He will go out. But my wife, Florence, and I were fortunate to have been counseled before we married. And were made to understand marriage is complete with or without children. With or without children, marriage is complete. And so the fact that we have the marriage, we have the relationship is key. That one we protect. And then what has happened is that we have dedicated our childlessness to God, and what is done with it is incredible.
Being the head of the family, how have you managed the situation at home? Because I'm sure that there will be moments where your wife will be, before now, where she would be worried. I'm sure you've had your difficult days trying to have biological children. How have you managed the situation being the head of the family?
Well, the first thing to note is that a wife takes her cue from her husband. If you, the man, are worried, she'll be even more worried about it. If you are reassuring and you understand the situation and she knows you are never going to betray her, i.e., she is not going to wake up one day and be told that
you have children out of the marriage.
If she can be sure of that, of your love, of your fidelity, then she can flow with you on this. And then she can deal with the viciousness of society, because don't think that society would allow you to be childless in this country. They come at you
from all angles.
Yes. They come at you viciously. But once she knows that I have a man at home who is with me, who stands with me, and there's, oh, you don't matter. Your comments don't matter. Your ridicule means nothing. Those were the early days. But now, with all these children that we have and relate to, then it doesn't even arise anymore. And it's gotten to the point where, especially in her case, women older than her call her mama. And they mean it. You understand? I'm not too sure at what point it turned, but at one point, both of us realized, oh, Auntie so-and-so is calling me mama, and means it, and will run every decision she's taking by her. And sometimes they reach her and say, oh, I need to do this and this and this. Oh, so when should you have done it? Oh, actually, the deadline was is this today. Oh, so why didn't you do it early? Because I haven't spoken with you. Mama, I wanted you to know, and I wanted you to tell me whether this is. And this is a woman who has her own money, is older than us, and so that is the beauty and the wonderful thing. But my mission is that if any man is listening to me, if any couple is listening to me, who have been blessed with in many, many ways, in almost every way apart from this way, I'm here to say that, hey, enjoy your relationship. When I do that, then I also talk to the ladies, because there are a lot of ladies who God has blessed in many ways. Among their family, they've been blessed more than everybody, except that they don't have children. And they think life has passed them by.
Yeah, because they'll say, okay, if you have all these riches and you don't have kids, who are you living them? You know how...
Yeah. And for them, my message is that don't mind this society, because this society gets a lot of things wrong. Rock your life. Do the best you can with your circumstances and live your life to the full. Somebody cannot afford to even keep a dog. He has 6 children. And he thinks he's done society a lot of favor.
He has no problem in society because he has children.
He has children. He is not ashamed that he doesn't even know who is paying their fees. He's not ashamed of that. The annoying thing is that whilst you are supporting his children, he is also going beyond his marriage and literally the whole place. Yes. Because it means nothing. There's no responsibility on him.
Yeah. All he has to do is to produce.
It's just to produce. And then he keeps going. And we do not understand that that is the reason why certain families are poor. Because now, we can't build capital.
Yeah.
In most families, you have a few people who are the stars. So just when you are building capital to create something that can become transgenerational, then they call you, oh, I just say I will be more. Or the hospital, yeah, an operation. We need to come up with this money. Then the money you have saved that you were going to use for an investment now goes into that. Hospital.
Let's come to celebrating fathers.
Okay.
And I've seen that recently you are encouraging men that they are men no matter what happens. Like,
yes,
no one must define what manhood is for you.
Yes, and don't apologize for the kind of man you are.
What if the person is not a good father or a good man? The person shouldn't.
Who made him father? So that's a part of the discussion we never have. The man didn't, walking down the street, didn't just say, oh, hi, I'm a father now. Somebody, some woman.
Oh, so I see where you are going to. We should look. The woman made the wrong choices.
Made him father. When we are talking about bad fathers, we don't look at this. Because sometimes mothers will say, oh, papa, your father has changed. No, he hasn't changed. He was as foolish today as he was when you saw him. Except that the pressure for you to get married was so big that
all that didn't matter.
Yes. But like I said, I've been a marriage counselor for almost 40 years. I have discovered, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to stop counseling, because sometimes it's painful. I've discovered that before the marriage, in many cases, the women know this is not the right choice for me. Before. Not that I married him and discovered. So they go with things like, yeah, what about sister? They go with things like, oh, no one understands him. And I say, there's a good reason no one understands him. So let's hold people accountable. Yes, the father who is not responsible, shamed on him. But an irresponsible man, and you've had 3 children with him, if you didn't know he was irresponsible, you got to know he was irresponsible with the first child.
Then the second came. And then the men sack him. And now you are realizing that he's irresponsible.
You understand? So, yes, because there are certain men who were not raised right.
How would you wish we celebrated men? What would be your ideal definition of celebrating fathers?
Oh, we don't ask for much. We don't ask for much. If you called your father and just thanked him and said, I am proud of you, I am happy with the values you instilled in us, with the example you were for us. We are happy with the home you created for us, the opportunities in life you gave us by the education you afforded us, the fact that we still have you to talk to, we have you to run to. I think a lot of fathers, it will make their day because we don't ask for much. We don't ask for much.
So you wouldn't want the parties and the lunches here and there and the gifts?
Men don't like. We like parties when we are chasing a girl and we are taking a girl to the party, but otherwise.
You always want to be the center. What's the typical father? How has your father in the past, how have you celebrated Father's Day?
Quite often the children passing through. In many cases, over the last, I think, 12 or so years, every Father's Day I'll be preaching in one church or the other. And a number of my children would accompany me. And it doesn't matter where the church is. And they come on their own. All they get to know is, Daddy is preaching here. And they will show up. Sometimes I'm not even aware they are coming. Until I am in the church and I see them. Oh, you... so is also here. And then it becomes... And then after that, just thank them. we get into our respective cars and we drive away.
So this Sunday you are preaching somewhere?
Yes, this Sunday I'm preaching somewhere.
Oh, okay. In Accra or out of Accra?
At Sacramento.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So let's come to what you do on social media now. So if we follow Charlie these last weeks, what you do, it looks like you are on a path to let men own who they are.
Yes.
It's like a planned thing, like, okay, you are a man, you know, how is that coming up? Do you think that we've sidelined men? But men have always had the upper hand in the society. It's always women who've even been a bit laid back. So how would you want us to acknowledge or men? Yes, I think that's what.
Okay. What you are referring to, the post we are making, is on the back of celebrating women and motherhood. I did that for the whole of the month of May, where I celebrated motherhood by reflecting on a lot of my experiences with my mother.
Yeah.
So I shared that to celebrate, so that I do not want people to think, oh, that's a chauvinistic man. No, we've celebrated mothers and we celebrated them totally, because bottom line, we all have mothers who would have died for and would have killed for. So that is there. But just being clear with that, there is something that society is glossing over. Whenever you see a boy and a girl at the altar exchanging vows, you must understand that that is a union of unequals. It is an uneven match. Whenever you see a boy and a girl at the altar exchanging vows, because the woman is so prepared for the marriage and knows what she's doing. Everybody has made an input in her life for what she's entering into. Her mother, her big sisters, her aunties, even her mates from school, her colleagues, church, the elderly women in the church, especially when they get to know that she's planning this. They would all randomly, they would just call her, Brah Tracy, let me tell you what marriage is. They would make input in the girl. So quite often, when the girl dresses, however she dresses, and comes for her wedding, and she stands before the altar, she's very sure what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She knows what to expect. She knows that this could be up and down. She knows that because they've made an input in her. The boy, he doesn't know 10. He thinks he knows. He doesn't know. Why? Because when a man says he's going to get married, none of his people thinks they must tell him what
to expect.
His father, are you ready? So you are ready. If you want to marry, you are ready, because I'm not going to put money into the wedding. Are you ready? If you are ready, okay.
Once you have your cash, I'll
follow you. His boys, all they will know, Dave, you are the man. Dave, you are the man. That's all. That's the preparation. Or they will say, oh, now you are Ube Sankwai. Full stop. What kind of preparation is that?
Hype.
Hype. Thank you. Hype. But the woman has been taught. She's been taught how to handle herself. She's been taught how to handle home, how to handle the kitchen. She's even been given an orientation on children, how to raise children, and things like that. The boy knows. So we must understand, and we haven't accepted this enough, that we have a society of unequals. Girls know exactly what they want. Girls know exactly what they want. A girl knows the boy he's going to marry before the boy even realizes that the girl is there. She's seen him, weighed him, decided what his prospects are, and then, clever as a woman is, now the goal is how to make him
notice that I'm here for you. I'm waiting for you.
For you. Without making it look like I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? And How they cleverly work that, no man is aware. My mission is that let's give the boys a fighting chance. We focus so much on the girl child that in some parts of Ghana where this program was carried on very well, now they have an issue.
Yeah.
There are no boys in those societies for the girls who have been empowered.
Sure.
Because nobody empowered the boys. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Because we take a lot for granted. The boy comes and he's playing. He doesn't take his life seriously.
And the girl come and cool, go and bath, go and do this, and regimented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's much more disciplined. She's more focused. The boy is just running around doing things. So that is my mission, that let's give the boy child a chance.
When it comes to Uncle Ebo, we can sit here from morning to evening because there will be a lot of examples and many other instances which will justify everything that he says. But we can't wrap up without talking about plays, especially having the pioneer in stage plays, modern ones, of course, someone who is led for commercial sponsorship. If you go to an Uncle Ebo play, if he says 6, it's 6.
Yes.
Actually be there 10 minutes or 15 minutes to 6, because at 6 no one will move for you to pass, and and we've seen a lot of people, a lot of young people taking up more interest in directing and producing. How do you feel when you see them doing what they are doing now?
Humbling and fulfilling, because in other jurisdictions there's a play every night.
Okay.
There's a play every night. So you do not need to even see an advert. There's a theater. When you have a guest, go there. There'll be a good show. All the planes flying into Ghana are full. 80% expatriates. How do they occupy themselves? Beyond the business time.
Yeah.
We leave them in the hotel. Some of them then go to the front of office and say, do you know whether I can get somebody to keep me company?
Yeah.
Or things like that. That's the bold ones. The other ones, they just stay in their room and suffer. So it is wonderful that these things are coming up. It would be fantastic if we could have a situation where every evening, if just drive into National Theatre, something will be happening there. Just go to the art center, something will be happening there. Just go there. In other words, it will be something that is culturally relevant, but it will also be something that is of human interest so the person can relate to it. But at the end of the day, when you are bringing him back to his hotel, he feels, I've had a good evening.
He's had an experience. Yes,
I've had an experience.
Yeah.
And next year, when he's coming, he's excited and wants to see, can I even spend longer there? So it is wonderful that we are having these, or everybody out there doing this. My only wish is that every production will raise a bar. Every production will be excellent. So that we don't have a situation where people say that, well, I went to watch a show here, but I didn't like it. It was lousy.
And it was, it's not Uncle Ebo's level. We always say it.
Yeah.
Do some of them consult you? Do they speak to you about?
Those who consult, they get help.
Okay.
Because I'll be there for your final rehearsals. But you see, this is Ghana. Obi actually play, I direct it. Now we work with General say, may Uncle Ebo Whyte, let me tell you what is wrong with your play. Oh no. No. So if the person comes and says, Uncle Ebo, we having our production on this date. Can you pass through our rehearsals? Yes, I can. Then after the rehearsal, the person comes to you and says, Uncle Ebo, what do you think? No. We
discuss
have a
it,
chat.
then we fine tune.
Even that, I don't speak to the whole group, because you must recognize that he is the director. Your vision of the play, with directing, interpreting a play, there's no correct way. There's no one way of interpreting a play. So it is important to know what is his vision, what is he trying to accomplish, why is he interpreting this way. You may learn something from it. Instead of going and say, yeah, I'm an Uncle Ebo. You haven't heard about me? Well, let me tell you what you are doing wrong. Oh, no.
All right. So how many plays, if you do a count, what number are you on now? How many plays?
57.
Wow.
Since 2008.
57.
Since 2008.
And there are people who would see, who have seen, if they are still alive, who have seen each one of them. Even the Latter-day Saints, those of us who just become enthusiasts, all the plays are different. How have you managed to keep, you know, sometimes a few times you see like the same actors in different plays, but then almost all the storylines are different and unique, and you can even decide to watch it over and over. How have you done this?
Each play competes with the previous one.
Oh.
The process is very rigorous, and it begins by me submitting myself to my group. When the play is ready, before we start rehearsals, I bring about 25 people to listen to it being read. And when it is done, we open the floor for a discussion, and no holds barred. If you come to any of the sessions, you pity me, because there's something like, oh, that's Uncle Bo. No. I remember one day, one of the guys said, Uncle Bo, I'm so disappointed in you. This is not what we expected of you. And he could say that because he knew he wouldn't suffer any consequences. He knew that's the kind of criticism I needed, because people are going to pay to watch this later. You understand me? So we have that first session. Depending on what comments they come up with, there are times we have read the play and I know this play won't go anywhere. I throw it aside. So there are about 5 plays that have not seen the light of day because the group dismissed.
You write them alone, or you take?
I write them alone.
Wow.
And then I take the comments they would have made and go and revise the script. And then bring this same 25 people with 10 people who were not part of the first reading. And then we read it again, and I'm looking at the reaction of the 25 who know the story and the 10 who do not know the story. And I'm watching them. After that discussion again. And the play doesn't go to the next phase until they approve it.
Wow, that's actually a rigorous process.
Then after that, I have a standing group of about 190 members. We read it to them. And they also discuss and vote whether this is a worthy successor of the last play we did.
Ish.
Before casting begins, before directing begins.
Wow.
And in the directing, the work will still continue to be revised, will continue to be worked on. So by the time we come to the National Theatre, that play has gone through the mill.
It's gone through fire. It's like gold. It's gone through all the processes of refining.
Every suggestion, every comment taken into serious consideration. And they know that he values it, because I encourage them, send me your comments by mail. And every comment I respond to individually.
All right. So finally, are you getting... Now we've seen corporate Ghana coming on board, starting from you. We've seen branded venues. You see the different commercials of. Are we getting value? Has corporate Ghana seen how serious we are with art? And what's your experience with getting sponsorship for the place?
Corporate Ghana does not care about anything apart from profit. So don't go to corporate Ghana and say we have a good show. It means nothing to them. So, for instance, you want Mirror to be on board, go to Mirror and let them know that we have mechanism to help you increase sales. We are giving you a platform that has people who are not even readers of Mirror yet, but we could let them experience Mirror for the first time on this platform. It will cost you this much.
They want figures, what you are turning what into, not just talk.
So go to MTN. Don't tell MTN, oh, we are going to give you a fantastic show. No. MTN wants to know how many people, what units can we sell? Which of our programs that we have, the promotions we are doing, can we have the platform to do it? That is what most corporate Ghana. In the past, we've gone to them and said, we are doing a wonderful show. People love our show.
Talking.
And the guy is going, yeah. It means nothing to him. So I'm happy that gradually we're getting there. There are companies, there are programs now, productions now, that would ensure that your TVC will be played. In the past, they will go for the money and can ignore you. So apart from the flyer saying sponsors, so and so, at the show, there's no evidence and no mention of you. When you do that, no. I mean, they are not Father Christmas. No company is charity. So that is what it is. Corporate Ghana doesn't really care. Corporate Ghana is interested in what will help me advance my brand, and how do I position it? Is it going to help me position my brand well? And if it is, yes, of course, then it makes sense.
I think this is free branding classes, even if you are not into art. I think that everything that you are doing, or Uncle Ebo is saying that corporate Ghana is looking at figures, how they also benefit from what you are doing. Thank you so much, Uncle Ebo. This was very short notice, but we truly, truly appreciate you taking time off. Can you give us an idea of when your next play is?
5th,
be ready?
6th and 7th of July and the weekend after that.
Oh, okay. So 5th, 6th and 7th of July, and the weekend so you can mark your dates.
The title is Takeover.
Takeover. Well, maybe we'll see. You know, like Uncle Ebo said, every play, now we know that every play competes with the previous one.
Yes.
So if you saw the previous one and you thought that, oh, this is, please, get ready to take it over.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Efia Kese. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to the Graphic News Plus app. You can read all our brands, The Mirror, Daily Graphic, Graphic Showbiz, Graphic Sports, Junior Graphic. You know, we have something for everyone. Also read this interview, grab a copy of this weekend's Mirror, where we'll have some tidbits with Uncle Ebo out of this video that is only when you buy the Mirror that you'd see it. Don't forget also to subscribe so that you get notifications. Thank you so much.
For more news, please visit our website graphic.com.gh or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH.
Subscribe now.